2025. We are in the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, on this episode of Stand Tall. We had some hard-hitting verses the first couple out, so we only got through 6. So we're going to be starting with verse 7 here. Chapter 27, verse 7. One who is full tramples on virgin honey, but to a man who is hungry, any bitter thing is sweet. I think in times of abundance like we have, this is a very, very good one to revisit, because as soon as times turn bad, as soon as we don't have that fresh water, as soon as we take that shower because our hot water doesn't work, as soon as we don't have a supply of abundance of food, of the things that we have today, how soon does the bitter become sweet? And I think that's good to remember, that things can change in the blink of an eye. Like a bird that is far from its nest is a man who is far from his home. Perfume and incense gladden the heart, but by grief the soul is torn asunder. Right? So perfume and incense, these things smell good. They make you happy, right? They make you feel good temporarily. And it's grief that tears the soul asunder, tears you apart. And a lot of times, right, it is the perfume, it is the incense, the flowers, the things that are covering up the grief that is happening to us, while these things are covering up the deep down of what's happening. Your own friend and your father's friend forsake not, but if ruin befalls you, enter not a kinsman's house. Better is a neighbor near at hand than a brother far away. Okay, it is good to have family, be good to your family, right? And it does say, do not forsake your friend and your father's friend, because if ruin befalls you, enter not a kinsman's house. And while family is very important, it's also good to be a member of your community, right? Be good to your neighbors, be good to those who live around you. Foster that sense of community, because they're the people who are really going to help you when your soul is being torn asunder. If you are wise, my son, you will gladden my heart, and I will be able to rebut him who taunts me. All right, and so like we've heard earlier in the book of Proverbs, right? So we have our own thoughts and we have our own plans, but it is the Lord who guides what we say. And so from my tongue is what the Lord wills. And so this is saying, like, if you're wise, then you'll gladden my heart. I'm assuming this is the Lord saying this. And I will rebut him who taunts me. And so in times of being challenged, the Lord is going to give you the strength to stand up for him, for his glory. And the last one we'll get to today, verse 12. The shrewd man perceives evil and hides. Simpletons continue on and suffer the penalty. I thought that was like, oh, so good. Oh, so good. The shrewd man sees evil and he hides, right? He turns away from evil, because we know that what that verse says. Fools hate to turn from evil, chapter 13, verse 19, Proverbs. And so the shrewd man, the wise man, he turns away from evil. He runs and he hides from it. But the fools and the ignorant, they suffer from it. I was just talking about this today with my trainer while we were doing our workout. And it's like, the law says, the Bible says, it's like ignorance is not an excuse. And if you aren't doing things and seeking daily this wisdom, this philosophy of life to better yourself, to be a leader, and to do all of these things, then you certainly will you will suffer this evil. And even personally speaking from experience, there was a time in my life, whether it was through my mental health disorder of depression or bipolar, I let it get to me and I became ignorant, and I don't want to say childlike, but I gave up in so many ways. I gave up pursuing wisdom. I gave up on life. I was aimless. And I think that in many ways that's definitely affected me, and that's definitely, harmed so much of what my life could have been. And so just know that, like, being wise pleases the Lord. Seeking wisdom is what the Lord is looking for, and he's going to strengthen you when you do that. So as we move forward into the year, let's keep seeking that wisdom and that enlightenment, so that we may be stronger leaders, husbands, fathers, people, and make for a better earth.